Hello everyone. Happy Friday. Super excited to be here today. I will be talking today about email and how we can measure email performance in the new GA4 platform. So let's get started. Okay, this is what we'll discuss today. Email metrics as provided by your email service provider and why they're not enough. Then creating an email report in GA4 in less than a minute. And then how to analyze email performance. Okay, so first things first. We all know that email is the top channel in terms of ROI, and there are billions and billions of emails in use today, and this number is only going to grow. And lucky for us, all of the ESPs or email service providers are getting better and better at providing us with insights about the email performance. But we need to add our favorite UTM parameters to the email links of every email because it is important to assess email performance against all the other digital channels. And for that reason, we need to make sure that we have all of our clicks from emails sent into our Google Analytics platform or any other platform so that we can compare how email performs and also so that we can see what is happening after the clicks, because what is happening after the click is the key, most important thing that will enable us to measure attribution and see what actual value email creates. Because beyond the click, there may be other clicks and other pages. There may be a number of things which are important, like signups and other calls to actions that are being implemented, etc. And it's our analytics tool that is going to help us to measure that. So there are two ways you can add UTM parameters to your email. For example, you can use your ESP and decide to automatically track or add UTMs to your links in a particular email. So this is a screen grab from HubSpot, which is my email tool. And this is a simple and great way to make sure all of your emails are being tracked. However, when you do that, some things will be missing. And what will be missing is that this is what happens when I go into my Google Analytics and look at my email report from HubSpot. I'm getting HC_email and then email. And then session campaign is not set. I can see that I had 31 users over a certain period of time. They went through 172 sessions and they were pretty engaged. They spent around 50 seconds per session, and then they had a lot of events and the engagement rate is pretty high. But I don't know which emails generated these engagements, and that is a problem. What is more, if I go to my Explore report, which I built really quickly to see the performance of my emails, when I look at the HC email here, you can see that my term is not set, and also my content that I'm trying to track has a certain number, and I'm not exactly clear what that is, right? So there are limitations to using automated ways to track your links from email versus adding some of your UTMs and custom tags using a campaign URL builder tool. When you start using a tool like that, this is what happens. This is the difference. You know that this is your newsletter email, and you can see the campaign, which shows the year, the month, the date, what's new in Campaign Trackly. It gives you the topic. It tells you that the users click on your button, and then it tells you where they were taken. And this is so much more informative, right? So using a campaign URL builder tool is providing you with an opportunity to be very specific about details in terms of your links. And my recommendation is to use an automated campaign URL builder, one that will allow you to ideally tag your links as you are sitting in your email service provider building your email, instead of using an Excel spreadsheet and having a lot of copy pasting. So this is what I do, for example, to do my link tagging. This is my HubSpot environment, and this is my email here, onboarding email 6. And I'm going to just very quickly show you how I'm tagging my links. So first, you can see here that in this section I have 1, 2, 3, 4 links, right? And if we click in the more and the source code, you will see here that my links are not being tracked, right? They are the original links that I have here, no tags. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to right click. I'm going to use my browser extension so that I can grab my links and be able to tag them. So what's happening here is that immediately the extension that I'm using grabs my email, onboarding email number 6, which I can edit, or I can select the pre-existing campaign from a list here. There is a big list that I have. My links have already been grabbed automatically, and I will decide not to shorten because it's not good to shorten your links. And then I'll go to my UTM parameters. In my UTM parameters, okay, it's telling me that a campaign like that already exists because I already tested it prior to showing all of this to you. So basically what's going to happen here is I can do onboarding. And I can very quickly drag and drop my onboarding here. And then, or I can select and edit to all the links at once. Then I can do, for term, I absolutely will do text link because all of these are text links, right? So I can, again, drag and drop for all my links. And then for content, what I can see here is that this is my Excel landing page. So I'm going to do Excel landing page, and I can edit to all of my links. Or since this here is pricing plan, and this here is my knowledge base, I can change this. I will do knowledge base, and I can drag it here. I can do pricing, and I can add it here, right? And then the fun part is that I can add custom tags also. I can add, for example, email here, right? I can do that. And if need be, I can add my subject line, which will be 6, onboarding. And I can also add a date. So for example, I can select today's date, or another date, let's say. And I can simply add all of these to all of my links. And it's pretty simple and pretty neat how I can do all of this without even leaving my HubSpot environment. Now, once your process is in place and you know what you're tracking, it is very easy in Google Analytics to build your reports. So I'm going to show you very quickly here a report that I built. So basically, you go into your reports, then you can go into acquisition, and then you can go into your traffic acquisition. Once you get into your traffic acquisition, you can do source and medium, and you can see that I have pre-selected here everything with email. Then you can add your session campaign. And you can see here that I automatically got all of this information pulled for me. And it is really, really cool to see all of these session campaigns here that have generated clicks. And additionally, I can see not only users, I can see sessions, I can see engaged sessions, I can see average time per session. I can see events per session, engagement rate, event count, and a lot more information. And if your emails are meant to drive revenue and you have all the connections in place, you will also be able to see that, right? So pretty amazing. What I did here was I used edit comparisons, and basically what I did was I said, hey, you know what, Google, just give me a session source that does not contain HS. This is the HubSpot, and et cetera, et cetera. So I can actually remove all of this, and then that will give me everything in place, right? So let me show you how I built a report using the Explorer feature. And again, it was pretty simple. This is how I built it. Okay, so basically, I created my exploration name. I put in some custom date. Then my segment here, as you can see, is email. And then I pulled a number of dimensions. And as I have shown you previously, it's very easy to pull your dimensions. You just click plus, and when you have a pop-up open, you can select the relevant dimensions that you are interested in. The second thing to do is to go to your metrics the same way. You click on plus, and you select from the pop-up the metrics that you need for your report. And then all you need to do is drag and drop your session source / medium, your session campaign, session manual term, and manual ad. And they're all being populated here. And then in the metrics, you can decide what values you want to use so that you can generate your report, right? And it's pretty simple and straightforward. And what is this report showing you, right? Again, this is an account that has a lot of testing data. So the first thing that you can see here is, hey, mixed bag of things. There is no standardization when it comes to session campaign, right? Which is not good. Obviously, with HubSpot reporting, the campaign name is missing, but also the term is missing, etc. So, what can we conclude? We can conclude that it is really good to have a campaign naming convention so that everything is standardized, right? Whether you are naming your campaign based on year, month, date, or year and quarter, depending on what your naming convention is, the best thing is to always be very consistent so that you can always compare apples to apples, because chances are that you are probably using this campaign on other channels, and when you want to compare cross channels, the performance of every channel for a particular campaign, it's really good if you have kind of standardized naming conventions. Number two, what is important? It is important to always try and track your link type, whether it's the button link or the text link, because it kind of shows you what is more effective, what works better for your customers. A button link, an image link, a text link, etc. And last but not least, it's not bad at all to kind of track what is the content that users are clicking on. In my case here, I can see that there's a lot of clicks on the knowledge base, for example, because it's always very, very informative, so that you can see what is happening and what are the events per session, what are the session duration, etc. So I think I'm almost at time. So I will go back to my presentation here. I want to thank you for watching. Just to recap the key takeaways from today's live streaming session. Number one, we need to add UTM tracking tags to all of our email links, because we need to have data-driven approach to measuring the value that your email channel creates for your business, especially when you are trying to measure attribution and to see which channel generates the most value, right? It is very important. Number two, you need to be able to add your UTM and custom tracking parameters so that you can put a lot of info in your Google Analytics, kind of the central place for all of your reportings. Number three, you have to decide what you want to do. Are you going to add automatically UTMs by using the preset features that your ESPs are offering? There is pros and cons there. Or are you going to use a automated URL builder that can allow you to tag your links, without leaving your email environment, and then you can very easily add your tracking tags and everything can automatically be set for you. If this is done using a campaign URL builder, very, very important thing, try and make sure you have campaign naming conventions in place so that all of your data is standardized and you can compare apples to apples. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate you joining me today. Hopefully, this session has been of value to you. Have a wonderful weekend.